Hey everyone, welcome back to the RPGames YouTube channel. My name is Ralph, this is Pathfinder Kingmaker. In the previous episode we were sent out to look for a bunch of tomes written by the infamous Willis Gunderson, and someone in the city was supposed to have them. Well, one of the merchants on our market square happens to have one of the books. So this is Valor and Honor, 10 Adventures of the Splendid Willis Gunderson in Absalom. So we're gonna purchase this one. And then the other books, I don't think are... Oh, here is a book about from Jubilost. So we're gonna grab that one, and then we'll check with the other merchants. This one is Hasuf. We'll check with the other merchants if they have books as well. And it turns out we can actually ask them about it. So this is for Del. Tell me, do you have any books by Willis Gunderson? It's like you're interrogating me. Of course I do. Everyone says he's bad, but I like him. The guy writes with feeling. I mean, used to write. Can I borrow these books? Of course, read away. So we received Valor and Honor a second time, I believe. Okay, maybe... Oh, that's it already. Alright, then we'll head to Jubilost and see what he says. So we're gonna check out the book first, but like I have two books now, but they seem identical actually. And the strange thing is that when I bought the first one, the quest didn't move forward, and when I received the second one, it did. It's a bit odd. Let's see what it says. There's a table of contents from the author, the prologue. Adventure 1, the fearless rescue of a lone, tempting beauty. Adventure 2 is visiting the beauty. Then there is skillful illustrations. So here the book turns into a bit of Kama Sutra from visiting the beauty, I guess. Adventure 3 is running from the beauty's enraged spouse. Yes, that's the thing that happens. After that, hiding in the catacombs. Then there is an adventure in the corner of a tavern, some recipes of food and drinks studied by the author during his attempt to hide in the tavern. Then seeking rescue among artists of a traveling circus. Then he ends up in the tiger's cage, running from the tigers, failing to escape the tigers. Then salvation from the tigers by the servants of the beauty's spouse. Reunion with the beauty, a long conversation about valor and honor, a proper farewell, and a page for the author's autograph in case you are lucky enough to meet him. Page 1500. Very interesting. Let's see what Jubilost has to say about it. I found Gunderson's book, the one we were looking for. Let me see. It's a good thing I'm not a follower of Shaylin, or I'd throw this thing into the fire right now. Draw the deity's wrath. Just look at this language. Shivering, she clanged to my shoulder and whispered, "Willis, you are my only hope. Only your well-developed adventuring skills, your daring mind, merciless eloquence, and shameless courage can save a poor girl like me. Oh, Willis, save me." So when I read the first part of that sentence, I thought I was gonna say, only your well-developed adventuring body. But it was skills. So there we go. But I digress. We need something that's 5th in 10. Obviously, it's about the 5th adventure from this book. The name of the chapter is In the Corner of the Tavern. Sounds like a place, but which tavern is it? The nearest one? And who or what should we look for there? Wait, we know the place, the tavern, and a number, 24. We can suppose that it's a place and a time, or rather a date. The 24 that's contained a dozen times in a dozen is the 24th of each month. I propose we meet at the Capital Inn on the next 24th and see what happens. Yeah, that's an option. I have no idea what time it is at the moment. Every episode, event upon event upon event. That's what happens when you run a kingdom. We talked to the Grand Diplomat. There we go. And we can rank up the Grand Diplomat another time. Let's see where we are at here. The trade taxes can also be done by Tristian. The mercenary army could be done by Lindsay, actually. But the success chance is only 16%, yeah. Maybe let's wait for Rigongar in 6 days. So what shall we do? Shall we advance time to the 29th? Well, that's past the 24th. We could advance time, you know, day by day until we're the 24th and then head to the tavern and check what's happening. And in the meantime, we're gonna get some new events. I think that makes the most sense. Other than this quest, there is not a huge amount of stuff going on, so I think that's what we're gonna do. So Tristian helped the peasants gather a militia to protect their houses and secure settlements from bandit attack. Loyalty +4, community +2. That is nicely done. A foreign ambassador arrived in our lands and went missing on the way to the capital together with their entire cortege. That happened before. It's not something I want to happen too many times. Let's see. Valerie or Jaital, who will return, well, at least Jaital will return soon. And apparently there is a golem that wants my attention, and I'm guessing it's not Smeagol the golem. Yeah, let's see what's going on here. Let me first assign Tristian here, because otherwise I will forget to deal with the trade taxes, and then head to the throne room. Does this have something to do with... I thought maybe it had something to do with, like, finalizing the Road of Shields? I don't know. An adamantine golem. A strange golem enters your throne room. It's seriously hurt, barely moving its legs and swaying as if it's drunk. Help us. Help. How is a golem asking for help? Is Harrim gonna punch it to death? A frowning Harrim quickly responds. How do you like that? Again, someone needs our help, and again it has to do with golems. Does any of this seem familiar, Grand Blackforge? Those simpletons from the Sketchy clan must have dug up something else and got themselves in trouble again. The priest's remarks are punctuated by a terrible clanging sound as the golem collapses to the floor in pieces. Great. And I warned them they were wooing death. I warned them, let's return to that little fortress that they couldn't get inside and see what happened to them this time. Yes, we need to go and check on them. Just don't do it without me, alright? I want to see with my own eyes what catastrophe they've wrought this time. All the while praying to their Torag. Okay, well, that's another one we can take care of. I'm guessing this can wait a few days. So we've met with our golem body. Now we need Jaital and Rigungar to return. They're gonna return in 4 days. And I think they have some major event. I think Jaital is like defending me from a like an assassin's contract on my head or something. So hopefully that succeeds. Let's see. Rigungar managed to use the raid of the sea dragons to their advantage. The terrified pirates, fleeing from the servants of Abadar, fled right into the spears of the guards. Their treasures, ships and lives were claimed by the king and his subjects. Military +10 and economy +6, and we get 200 BP. That's awesome. And of course it's gonna wait with this contract killing until the last one. The storyteller managed to convince the circus to settle in the kingdom. Your subjects are thrilled. They can see these amazing performances every day. Loyalty +3 and culture +6. Oh, a triumph even. All right. Jaital replied to the threat by issuing a contract of her own with the Red Mantis. In just a few days, she was approached by a young woman carrying the head of a hapless assassin in a bag. Oh, this Jaital is awesome as a spy master. We lost 75 BP, but, you know, who cares? Like, we took care of an assassin, right? Whew. All right. So, Jaital, I don't want to burden you too much, but good luck trying to get that assassin to the to find that missing ambassador with your 10% chance. Let's see, the mercenary army. Let's send Rigungar. There we go. Do we have other projects near completion? We do not. We have Jubilost going back in 8 days. Yeah, 8 days is the soonest. So how about we skip to the 24th and then head to the tavern? That sounds like a good idea. There is some more fugitive slaves from Rasmuren, which probably not gonna stay. Let's see, the kingdom stat is also +0. When does that start counting? Is that as of... as of a certain number? No, here the kingdom stat is also 0. Ah, that's odd. Although it does give a +14 stat rank. So there is a 8 stat rank, so relations is 4, so that makes sense. So what does that kingdom stat do then? He asks himself in episode 62. But yeah, it's clear that we need to get our stats up a bit, since the difficulties are getting higher and higher as well. So community, yeah, we could get our stats up definitely. What is the remaining region? Okay, that is for Jubilost. All right. So one more day and then we're gonna head to the tavern. Is Jubilost present actually? I'm wondering. There is goblin sentries, that's something. We have a bunch of citizens, we have a Miri in the tavern. Luna, who's Luna? Oh, here is Jubilost. Oh, he is here, alright. Let's speak to him for a moment. Oh, okay, yeah, so there is a character called Luna, and Jubilost says, looks like that's our moon. I'd like to know what leaving her path means to her, and more importantly, how all this is related to the story of Gnomes. I hope we're about to find out. A girl with an unusual silver grey hair is looking gloomily into her mug of ale. As she notices Jubilost clearing his throat, she raises her face and brightens. Oh. Hey. They told me that the king of the Hold of Blackforge walks the streets and feasts with everyone in the taverns. Well, you know, those tales are exaggerated, you know, like walking the street, yes. Feasting with everyone in the taverns, you know, I do have standards. Forgive me, your highness, I am Luna Kitari. You have an unusual name. I was born with bright silver hair. I didn't say you have an unusual hair color, I was talking about your name. The midwives never saw an Aasimar before. Oh, there is another Aasimar. Oh boy. Maybe she can get together with Tristan and both of them can betray me. They were frightened, but my mother not a bit. She said her daughter's hair was silver like the moon, which meant I was blessed by Desna, hence the name. Actually, I've always been drawn to faraway countries, like anyone touched by the moon goddess, but I've never been beyond the river kingdoms. Tell us about yourself. I am a messenger. I deliver correspondence from Brevoy to Mivon and back. Usually reports about a rich merchant underlings and his orders for them. My parents live in Brevoy and the girl I love in Mivon. I've always dreamed of becoming a traveler, but that's not easy for the daughter of a weaver and a washerwoman. I was glad to find this messenger job though. Thought I was pretty lucky, but now I'm traveling the same road over and over every month. I even sit right here in your tavern on the 24th of every month, right on schedule. Monotony is driving me to tears, but what can I do? Can't be everywhere at once, and I can't stand the thought of settling down. Do you see it now? When Moon leaves her path, it's another part of the riddle. Looks like we need to somehow convince our new friend to quit her well-trodden path and set off somewhere new. Plus, it would be good for her. Same roads, every month. If I were her, I'd have drowned myself a long time ago. If I didn't bleach sooner. Persuasion, and we have a persuasion of 2. Yeah, that's gonna go over well. Let's just give her the gold. Here, take it. You can spend it on traveling and seeing the world, together with your love if she agrees. But this is a very large sum. Of course, you're the king, but you barely know me. Yeah, that's right. Take it, believe me, traveling is contagious. You take one small step from your house and you'll never be able to stop. The world is beautiful, especially when you're not discovering it alone. Not that I myself ever... I'll leave you one of my latest almanacs to help you find your way around at the start. Yeah, shower the woman with one of your signed books, Jubilost. Great way to self-promote there. He's the marketing gnome. Thank you. Oh, I don't even know how to repay you, but on the other hand, maybe I do. Please take this. It's a relic my family received from an elven ancestor. According to the family legend, the one who deciphers the map will find 3 things. An incredibly sad secret, a true treasure, and a door to another world which will never open again. The entrance to a certain dungeon is marked here, but there's nothing to say where to go looking. You're a king, with all the best scientists and travelers serving you. Surely you'll be able to read this map. Thank you again. I have to go now. Haha, Moon left her pot, but now who can explain to me why the host didn't simply tell us go to the dungeon located here? Why make us run around in circles? But let's have a look at this map. What do we have here? Why, I recognize the area around the Candlemere at first glance. There are ancient ruins in this area. The dungeon must contain the traces of the very first gnomes to visit Galarian. Well, our goal is clear. Now we need only to achieve it. Okay, so there is a cave from Luna's map revealed. So we are at the Candlemere Island now, and we're heading towards the cave from Luna's map. Let's check it out. Here we go again. Another first world cave. Ooh. Did you see that? Someone wrote the end on one of the walls near the entrance in blue paint. That won't help. We're bleaching on the inside, not the outside. No, this is not the end. We have to believe. We will open this door. If only Say made it, she will get us back home, she will. Shouldn't have agreed to this game. Now we'll never be able to return, ever. Oh, the bleaching was a game? Well now. We can't talk to the ghosts. Oh, there is the Uber ghost. Flickering shadow stands before you, trembling and chanting something indistinct. In its silhouette you barely recognize the figure of a gnome girl dressed in rags. No, we need to try again. The door will open, I promised them, I promised. Oh, Aria ghost. The ghost seems not to pay any attention to you. I promised him to open this door, to return everyone home. Bursting into a long and bleak laugh, the ghost makes a move, as if she wants to run away, but then freezes and gives you an eerily attentive look. Who am I? I am Shay, a wizard. I'm the one who brought everyone here, this place. Once the Lantern King himself opened the gate from his dominion to Galarian here. He abandoned this road, but I thought I could open the portal again, or ask for help from an eldest. Return all of us home. I was wrong, the door didn't open. We all lost color, one by one. So the Lantern King, if the first world can be said to have a trickster god, no easy feat in a world where capricious, reality-bending mischief is standard practice for many natives, then the title belongs to the Lantern King, also known as the Laughing Lie. Generally appearing as a foot-wide ball of floating light, the Lantern King has been pointed to by some as the progenitor of all will-o-wisps, but such allegations meet with derisive laughter from the king himself. Foregoing an established realm of his own, the Lantern King roams as he wills through the fields and forests of the First World, and those lives he touches are rarely the same afterward, for though the Lantern King's sense of humor is vast, it can easily turn dark or incomprehensible. No beings rule the chaotic and changeable plane known as the First World, the home of the Fae, but its most powerful residents are the mighty beings known as the Eldest, sometimes known as the Fae Lords or the Shapers. They each pursue their own mysterious goals and have little interest in the doings of lesser creatures. Alright. Poor creature, you should not have relied on the mercy of the gods. So you're one of the gnomes from the First World. What happened to you? The ghost lets out a strange sound, half moan, half dull laughter. I lived a long, long life there in the First World. Many long lives. I traveled, I created, I danced upon the edge of the abyss and fell into the clouds. I died to be born again, with none of my strengths and skills, but with all the memories of the wonders I'd seen. But eternity can become tedious, even for a soul that's forever young. Many older gnomes suffered it even before we knew what the bleaching was. Sooner or later there's not enough novelty anymore, so we all grew fascinated by a new game. Death. One of the Eldest created it. Of course, he was just borrowing it based on his observations of the true gods. He drew a string from the River of Souls and created his own little circle of births, deaths, and judgments. Imitating the almighty Pharasma, he judged the souls that he owned and determined their further paths. It was so new, so exciting. Many gnomes volunteered. If not us, then who? The River of Souls is the name given to the constant migration of mortal souls from the material plane to Pharasma's boneyard in the outer sphere, where they are judged and sent to their eternal fate. On the astral plane, the River of Souls appears from a distance like a massive, winding silver thread. Those who approach can see the countless souls moving through a silver haze like so many schools of fish. The esoteric tradition considers the River of Souls to be a ley line, simply one part of the multiverse's network of magical pathways. It's really cool actually that you get all this background information on the world. But those who take from the goddess of death must be ready for the consequences. The Lady of Graves brought her rod upon this creative eldest. He was stripped of his power and forever doomed to serve in her court. And we gnomes, we were torn from the First World and bound to the River of Souls, like all creatures on the material plane. Thereafter we lived like the rest, died like the rest, and learned all the pain of the bleaching. Our game had become our reality, and no longer could we tire of its fun and return to another one. Jubilost looks at the ghost shaken. It seems to be one of those rare moments that the gift of speech is lost to him. But this is not at all how I supposed it happened. Respected Che, I understand that your condition does not allow for long conversations, but perhaps you could tell me... The ghost listens to him with eerie attention. Of course I could do many things. I tried many ways to open the portal. Everything except a sacrifice. Uh-oh. A little blood would come in handy. Oh, great. Well... What now? The ghost freezes, holds herself by the shoulders and sways back and forth, repeating over and over, I promised, I promised, I promised. Oh, here is the host. That's rather a foolish performance, little ghost. You've staged a fine series of foolish performances. Playing the game of death, contacting an eldest not known for his mercy, trying to open a door that leads nowhere. But who are we addressing? Greetings, Grand Blackforge, and of course you, most persistent of researcher. We see you solved our riddle. Jubilost folds his hands on his chest. We did. I might still fail to understand why you sent us the long way around, instead of just telling us everything from the beginning. Some truths must be discovered to be known. Or seen with your own eyes. Is what she told us true? About the game of death and Pharasma's punishment? Yes. One of our eldest brothers thought he could steal from a deity, and the gnomes that answered his call thought they could play at death. Death decided otherwise. That any way to change what happened and help the gnomes? If there is, we know nothing of it. The eldest can do many things, but as you know, it is not enough to confront a deity, especially one such as Pharasma. We have learned our lesson and do not play with the toys of others. Does that mean this was all in vain? Of course not. The journey is often more important than the destination. Be satisfied with the secret that you have won. The day I can simply be satisfied with something, I'll bleach. You say we learned our lesson, so you're also one of the eldest hosts. Oh, we're tired of answering this question. And the many others that follow it. Ask us again next time, especially since next time for you will be one of the first times for us. Why are you here? The right question at last. As I suspect you've realized, there is no way to save all the gnomes from the bleaching. You cannot return them to the first world and restore their connection to their homeland, and even if there were sufficiently desperate and powerful creature ready to do it, their actions would not be looked on mercifully by the Lady of Graves. Though it cannot be done for all, it can still be done for one. We are ready to offer this gift as a token of our appreciation for our exciting adventure and your solution to the riddle. Do you hear, Sir Jubilost? You personally may become reconnected with the First World. You won't be entirely protected from death if you remain on Galarian, but you will forever be spared from the bleaching. Whenever you visit the First World, which we are aware you desire passionately, then you'll be as immortal as any fae. Jubilost fixes his glasses nervously. It's the only chink in his nonchalant facade. If this gift cannot help the whole gnome race, then I have no need of it. Of course I'm not immune to vanity, but I've always been ready to share the burden of mortality with the others who bear it on their shoulders. I'll even keep wearing these stupid glasses. I'll survive without the immortality of the First World and face the bleaching when it comes, as all gnomes have done before me. Stupid gnome, very, very stupid. I thought better of you. With a mind like yours, and believe me, that's no easy sentiment to draw from me. This is one of the most important decisions in your life. Do what you think is right. Then I'll hold true to my first instinct. I do not need this gift. We aren't easy to surprise, but you managed it very well. A rejection is a rejection, but gifts of the eldest are not so easy to withdraw from the world. They must find an owner somewhere, one way or another. So what should we do? To whom shall we grant what has been promised? That's a good question. So we can help Shay, but she's ultimately kind of responsible for her own fate. Or we could give it to a living gnome who is currently dying of the bleaching. Yeah, it makes sense to give it to Shay, I guess. Maybe the gift will help Shay. That exhausted ghost deserves some peace. That's a worthy idea. What do you say, host? Can you grant the ghost peace instead of giving me immortality and everything that goes along with it? 1,000-year-old insane ghosts again. Well, why not? But we will do much more than simply give her peace. You'd be surprised how little difference there is between nowhere and here and now. She will open her door just when she was always meant to. You have rejected the gift, Jubilost Nartropple, but we will not leave you without any reward at all. We offer you a trifle. The chance to sometimes glimpse eternity in the corner of your eye, just as we do. Now you can remember the history of things. Those who wander searching for mysteries and ancient relics might find this skill useful. And now, farewell. When you finally succumb to the bleaching, you may remember this moment. I wonder what you think then. Only time knows. Can't believe it, I can feel it again, the first world or home. I don't know if I can save you from death, my friends, but at least we will die at home. Okay, that solves the door to nowhere. There is nothing else to be found here, unfortunately. So let's head back to our capital. Alright, we are back in the kingdom, and a band of arsonists is on the loose in the city. They're extorting money from homeowners, threatening to set fire to their property if they refuse to pay. And everyone, of course, is busy. So Octavia, Ekundayo, and Jaital, is any of those getting back before the new month? I sincerely doubt it. Yeah, no, they're not. Okay, well, that's too bad. The city is gonna burn to the ground. But that will happen in the next episode. As always, I want to thank you very much for watching. If you're enjoying the content, by all means hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you want to follow along, and I will see you in the next episode.